found a letter hidden deep within a wooden drawer, with words I practiced 100 times, or maybe even more. But a single tear fell down before the ink could truly dry, blurring out the final reason and the broken wave of goodbye. Now the blue is turned to a ghostly and a violet stain. Everything we tried to say is tangled in the dark rain, a messy map of a heart that didn't know the way, trying to find the meaning in the middle of a May Day, before the colors of the memory started to slowly fade. Oh, the ink smudge on the page of my lonely history, hiding the truth and turning the love into a mystery, a blurred confession of a soul that was once so young, a beautiful song that was left forever and ever unsung. The edges of the letters are weeping like a tired willow tree, holding the shape of a person that I used to always be. I try to trace the lines with a finger that is trembling now, searching for the promise and searching for the silent bow in the ruins of the sentences that have lost their way. Can you still read the pulse between the broken lines, under the shadow of the ancient and the lonely pines? The ink has run away, but the feeling is still so deep in the secret corner where the old and the tired spirits sleep. Oh, the ink smudge on the page of my lonely history, hiding the truth and turning the love into a mystery, a blurred confession of a soul that was once so young, a beautiful song that was left forever and ever unsung. Blurred lines and a heavy heart today, watching the ink just wash away. The paper is heavy with the weight of everything I kept inside, a mountain of emotions that I was always too afraid to hide. I wrote your name until the light of the pencil began to break, counting every single breath and counting every small mistake. The mailbox is miles away in the cold and the morning mist, a long list of the moments and the kisses that were never kissed, waiting for the courage that never arrived at my wooden door, leaving me standing alone on the cold and the silent floor, with a heart full of words that will never ever reach your hand. Unsent feelings like seeds in a dry and a barren land, waiting for a spring that was never meant to understand, a silent parade of the dreams that were meant for you, under the white and the empty and the indigo sky of blue. I fold the paper once and then I fold it twice again tonight, hiding the fire of the truth from the harsh and the midday light. It's a secret garden where the blossoms are made of old ink, giving me a million reasons to stop and a million to think about the distance that we built with the things we didn't say. Maybe the wind will carry the spirit of the words away through the open window in the middle of the month of May. Even if you never know the depth of the love I truly felt under the sun, where the heavy and the frozen memories melt. Unsent feelings like seeds in a dry and a barren land, waiting for a spring that was never meant to understand. A silent parade of the dreams that were meant for you, under the white and the empty and the indigo sky of blue. Still holding on to the words I couldn't send until the very bitter and the lonely end. A tiny picture of a mountain in a shade of faded red, a ticket to a journey that was only inside of my head, licking the back of the memory to make it finally stick on the corner of an envelope where the paper is thick. It's been waiting 40 years to travel across the sea, a miniature masterpiece of a world that used to be free, with a serrated edge like the teeth of a restless time, trying to pay the price of a life in a single dime, before the postman of the destiny disappears in the dark. Antique stamp holding onto the ghost of a tiny spark, a passport to a kingdom in a quiet and a lonely park, stuck in the past with a glue that is starting to fail, on the deck of a long lost and a wooden and a ghost sail. On the stamp is a stranger with a distant stare, breathless and silent in the heavy and the stagnant air. It represents a promise of a ladder that was never read, under the pillows of the living and the pillows of the dead. A small piece of paper that carries the weight of a world. Where would it go if I dropped it in the silver box today? Would it find a path through the green and the golden May? Or would it just sit in the dark with the other lost things, waiting for the freedom that only a forgotten memory brings? Antique stamp holding onto the ghost of a tiny spark, a passport to a kingdom in a quiet and a lonely park, stuck in the past with a glue that is starting to fail, on the deck of a long lost and a wooden and a ghost sail, cancelled and dull but still holding on. there's a lesson in the cursive that the teachers couldn't teach, a measurement of height in a pencil that is blurry and gray, marking the slow arrival of a long and a summer day. Our names are joined together by a shaky and a silver line. We thought the house would always be yours and always be mine, but the wallpaper is peeling like the skin of an ancient dream, and the dust is floating slowly in the middle of a sunbeam, showing us the ghosts of the children that we used to be. The handwriting on the wall is a message for the soul to see, a graffiti of the heart in a world that was once so free. The ink is fading away, but the spirit is carved in the stone, in the house that is quiet, in the house that is finally alone. I touch the letters and I feel the vibration of the past, wondering why the beautiful things were never meant to last. Your signature is small and it's tucked away in the corner there, like a silent and a holy and a desperate kind of prayer. Before we grew up and before we moved far away from here, the new people will come and they will paint the world in white, covering our history in the middle of a Tuesday night. But under the layers of the paint and the layers of the years, we will still be laughing and we will still be drying our tears. The handwriting on the wall is a message for the soul to see, a graffiti of the heart in a world that was once so free. The ink is fading away, but the spirit is carved in the stone, in the house that is quiet, in the house that is finally alone. Still written there in the dark and the deep, while the rest of the world is fast asleep. Used to be as white as the clouds in the middle of June, but it turned to the color of a tired and a setting moon. The years have been smoking the edges of the brittle page, a prisoner of the time in a golden and a paper cage. It smells of the attic and it smells of the dried up rain, a physical map of the pleasure and a map of the pain, crisp and fragile like the wings of a dying butterfly, under the weight of a heavy and an autumn-colored sky, holding the words that were written in a fever of old light. Yellowed paper glowing in the middle of the night, a lantern of the past that is starting to lose its sight. The fibers are breaking, but the truth is still standing tall before the autumn leaves of the memory begin to fall. I'm afraid to touch it because it might just crumble away into a pile of dust in the middle of the month of May. The ink is turned to brown like the earth in the garden bed, feeding the ghosts of the things that were never truly said. A fragile bridge between the now and the long lost before. Everything changes from the ceiling to the wooden floor, but the paper is holding the spirit of the ancient lore, a golden amber that is captured, a moment in time before the mountain of life became too difficult to climb. Yellowed paper glowing in the middle of the night, a lantern of the past that is starting to lose its sight. The fibers are breaking, but the truth is still standing tall before the autumn leaves of the memory begin to fall. The time goes by under the white and the indifferent sky. Send it to the street where the cherry blossoms used to fall, to the house with the blue door and the ivy on the wall. But the letter came back with a stamp that was cold and red, saying that the person I was looking for is finally dead. Or maybe you just moved to a place that I can't ever find, leaving the maps of the old neighborhood far behind. The windows are dark and the garden is overgrown now, and I'm standing here with a heavy and a silent vow, wondering where you take your coffee in the morning light. Address unknown in the middle of the lonely night, a message in a bottle that was lost in the silver side. I'm shouting your name into a phone that is disconnected, feeling the sting of a love that was finally neglected. Is there a city where the lost people go to start again, beyond the reach of the wind and beyond the reach of the rain? Do you still remember the number of the old apartment door? Or have you forgotten the sound of my feet on the floor? The mail is piling up, but nobody is home to read the lines. Maybe you're living in a world where the sun always shines, far away from the memory of the heavy and the lonely pines. But I'll keep writing to the ghosts, and I'll keep writing to air, sending the spirit of my heart to a place that isn't there. Address unknown in the middle of the lonely night, a message in a bottle that was lost in the silver side. I'm shouting your name into a phone that is disconnected, feeling the sting of a love that was finally neglected. Return to sender one more time, lost in the rhythm and the rhyme. I licked the edge and I sealed the breath of the year inside, a little piece of my soul that I didn't want to hide. The air of 1980 is trapped in a square of paper white, waiting for a pair of eyes to bring it back into the light. I can hear the ticking of the seconds beneath the glue, a pocket of the past that was dedicated only to you. The smell of your perfume and the sound of the summer sea, locked in a dark place where the spirit is finally free. Before the world turned gray, and before the world turned old. Time in an envelope, a story that was never fully told, a treasure chest of paper that was never bought or sold, holding the heartbeat of a moment that refused to die, under the white and the blue and the everlasting sky. When I open the seal, will the years come rushing out like wine, or will they just evaporate in a thin and a silver line? I'm afraid to break the peace of the silent and the holy dark, wondering if there's enough left to start a tiny spark. Of the cold and the modern afternoon today, maybe I should just leave it and let the paper decay. In the middle of the green and the golden month of May, some things are better when they're kept behind a paper wall, waiting for the final, the silent and the lonely call. Time in an envelope, a story that was never fully told, a treasure chest of paper that was never bought or sold, holding the heartbeat of a moment that refused to die, under the white and the blue and the everlasting sky. Wrote it on the back of a napkin in a crowded cafe, thinking that the words would never ever fade away. I will always love you was a sentence that we rushed to write in the middle of the loud and the neon-colored night. The ink was messy, but the heart was remarkably and truly sure. We thought that our devotion was remarkably and perfectly pure. But the coffee stains have turned into the islands of the past, and we learned that the scribbled things were never meant to last. Like a graffiti of the soul that was washed away by the rain. Scribbled promises written in a fever of the pleasure and pain, trying to find a way to break the heavy and the iron chain. A shorthand for a future that we didn't understand yet, under the sun that was always so ready to finally set. The handwriting is a blur of the passion and the desperate hope, like a sailor trying to hold on to a thin and a fraying rope. We didn't take the time to make the letters pretty or neat, running through the rain and running through the empty street, thinking that the speed of the love was the only thing that mattered. Now the napkin is torn and the dreams are remarkably scattered, like the pieces of a glass that was finally and truly shattered. But I can still read the forever in the corner of the page, before we learned about the bars of the golden and the human cage. Scribbled promises written in a fever of the pleasure and pain, trying to find a way to break the heavy and the iron chain. A shorthand for a future that we didn't understand yet, under the sun that was always so ready to finally set. Just a scribble in the dark today, watching the promises fade away. A circle of black ink with a date that feels like a dream, when the world was moving in a slow and a silver stream. The numbers are clear, but the world they belong to is gone, in the early light of a modern and the digital dawn. A bridge to a city that has been rebuilt 100 times. When the music was on tape and the world was full of rhymes, the stamp is a ghost of a king that nobody remembers now, marking the arrival of a silent and a holy vow, in the mailbox of a house that has a different kind of name. Postmark from 85, when the world was not the same, before the fire of the youth turned into a tiny flame. A coordinate in time for a heart that has lost its way, in the middle of the green and the golden month of May. I can almost hear the sound of the radio in the distant air, and the smell of the hairspray and the heavy and the humid single thought of the end. Writing to a lover and writing to a long-lost friend. Before the screen took over and before the silence grew deep. The postmark is a witness to the secrets that we used to keep underneath the pillows where the tired and the lonely sleep. A black sun of the past that is shining in the middle of the day, showing us the path that we finally and truly walked away. Postmark from 85, when the world was not the same, before the fire of the youth turned into a tiny flame. A coordinating time for a heart that has lost its way, in the middle of the green and the golden month of May. 1985 is calling me back on the lonely and the silver track. It's a mix of vanilla and a dried up and an ancient wood, a language of the dust that is finally and truly understood. The smell of the time as it turns into a heavy and a golden ink, giving me a million reasons to stop and a million to think. Every page is a leaf from a forest that has finally died, holding all the tears and the laughter that the people used to hide. The atmosphere of a library in the middle of a winter night, waiting for a pair of eyes and a soft and a yellow light to wake up the stories that are sleeping in the tight closed rows. The scent of old books in the garden where the jasmine grows, a perfume of the wisdom that only the ancient spirit knows, a heavy incense for the soul in a world that is moving too fast, finding a sanctuary in the middle of the long lost past. I breathe in the history of 1,000 different human lives, between the leather covers where the secret of the heart survives. Every stain is a ghost and every mark is a silent and a holy sign of a reader who was looking for a beautiful and a silver line, before the book was closed and before the light was turned away. There is a comfort in the smell of the paper as it starts to decay, in the middle of the green and the golden month of May. A reminder that the words are the only things that truly stay, when the rest of the world is finally and truly gone its way. The scent of old books in the garden where the jasmine grows, a perfume of the wisdom that only the ancient spirit knows, a heavy incense for the soul in a world that is moving too fast, finding a sanctuary in the middle of the long lost past. Breathe it in and let it stay. of May. He's walking down a street that was renamed a long time ago, with a bag full of secrets that he's finally and truly ready to show. But the map in his hand is a drawing of a city made of gold, and the stories in the letters are starting to grow remarkably old. Searching for a door that has been replaced by a wall of stone. A traveler of the time who is finally and truly walking alone through the fog of the memory and the fog of the morning rain, trying to find a way to relieve the heavy and the ancient pain of a message that was delayed by a 40-year-long in a deep sleep. The lost messenger with the promises that he was meant to keep, falling into a silence that is remarkably and truly deep. He's looking for your face in a crowd of the strangers in the street, with the letters of the past and the dust on his tired feet. Does he know that the people he is looking for are far away, beyond the boundaries of the green and the golden month of May? He's a ghost of the service in the world of the satellites and light, delivering the heart in the middle of the long and the lonely night. But the address is a dream and the house is a memory of smoke. Wait for him at the corner under the shadow of the ancient oak, where the spirit of the past is finally and truly ready to spoke. He might have a letter with my name and a letter with your heart, before the world was broken and before we were torn far apart. The lost messenger with the promises that he was meant to keep, falling into a silence that is remarkably and truly deep. He's looking for your face in a crowd of the strangers in the street, with the letters of the past and the dust on his tired feet. Still walking in the morning mist, with the letters that were never kissed. I've been sitting on the porch until the sun began to go down, watching the long shadows stretch across the silent in the town. The road is empty, but I'm still looking for a sign of the white, of a paper that would bring a little piece of the old light. My heart is a mailbox that has been empty for 1,000 years, drying all the ink and drying all the heavy and the lonely tears. I know the mail doesn't come on a Sunday or a holiday today, but I'm still waiting for a word in the middle of the month of May, thinking that the silence is a message that I didn't read yet, waiting for a reply to a question that the world was ready to forget, caught in the middle of a long and a silver and a lonely net. I'm listening for the sound of a pen on a paper far away, hoping for a reason to stay in the middle of a perfect day. Did you get the letter, or did it get lost in the heavy mountain snow? Or did you read it and find that you had nowhere left to go? The uncertainty is a fire that is burning in the middle of the dark, searching for a single and a holy and a tiny little spark, between the lines of the silence that is growing between us now. Maybe there are no words left to satisfy the ancient and the vow, and the only answer is the wind in the middle of the willow bough. But I'll keep my eyes on the horizon until the very end of the light, waiting for the blue and the indigo and the violet of the night, waiting for a reply to a question that the world was ready to forget, caught in the middle of a long and a silver and a lonely net. I'm listening for the sound of a pen on a paper far away, hoping for a reason to stay in the middle of a perfect day. Still waiting at the golden gate. It's never too late, or maybe too late. A piece of paper that has been creased 100 different times, holding all the rhythm and holding all the ancient and the rhymes. I tucked it in the corner of my wallet like a secret and a stone, a little piece of heaven that I was finally and truly proud to own. But the lines of the folds are starting to tear the world apart, a physical map of the hidden and the silent and the human heart, small enough to hide and small enough to carry in the heavy dark, waiting for the moment to ignite a tiny and a holy spark, before the paper breaks and before the story finally ends. Folded memories of the lovers and the long lost and the friends, trying to find a way to make the heavy and the holy amends, tucked away in the dark where the light can never ever reach beyond the lessons that the modern and the busy world can teach. The paper is white at the edges but gray in the middle of the soul, trying to make the broken, the weary spirit finally whole. I unfold it slowly like a map of a buried and a golden prize, with the salt of the ocean and the salt of the tears in my eyes, looking for the place where the X marks the heart of the home. We are all just travelers in a world where we are destined to roam, with a folded piece of paper under the white and the blue dome, holding on to the shape of the things that we used to truly love, under the watchful eyes of the stars in the heavens far above. Folded memories of the lovers and the long lost and the friends, trying to find a way to make the heavy and the holy amends, tucked away in the dark where the light can never ever reach beyond the lessons that the modern and the busy world can teach. Fold it up and put it away until the end of another May. Paper is tired of being flat and being remarkably still, like the grass on the top of a lonely and a golden hill. The corners are turning upward like they're reaching for the light, in the middle of the long and the indigo and the lonely night. A sign of the age and a sign of the heavy and the stagnant air, like the gray in the hair and the gray in the silent and the prayer. Everything is shrinking and everything is starting to pull away from the boundaries of the green and the golden month of May. The story is closing its eyes and it's turning back into the soul. Curled edges of a life that was once remarkably and truly whole, losing the grip on the world and losing the weight of the control. A scroll of the past that is finally and truly ready to be rolled in the middle of a story that has finally and truly been told. I try to flatten the page with the weight of a heavy and a stone, but the paper has a will and a memory of its own. It wants to be a circle and it wants to be a secret and a shell, hiding all the hidden and hiding all the ancient and the hell that we lived through when the world was young and the world was bright. The dryness of the years is a thief in the middle of the night, taking away the flexibility and taking away the golden sight. But the curve of the paper is a beautiful and a natural like the lines of the laughter on a well-loved and an ancient face. Curled edges of a life that was once remarkably and truly whole, losing the grip on the world and losing the weight of the control. The scroll of the past that is finally and truly ready to be rolled in the middle of a story that has finally and truly been told. Curling up and fading away in the end of the month of May. Dear boy with the bright eyes and the heart made of golden light, I'm writing to you from the middle of a long and a lonely night. I wanted to tell you about the things that you will eventually find, and the heavy burdens that you will eventually leave far behind. The world is much bigger and much smaller than you think it is. There will be a lot of tears, and there will be a lot of sacred bliss. But don't lose the magic of the morning and the magic of the sun. When the work of the day is finally and truly over and done, keep your feet on the ground, but keep your eyes on the indigo sky. A letter to myself with a question and a long and a silver way, waiting for the spirit and the ancient and the holy reply. Forgive the mistakes and forgive the long and the lonely years, drying all the ink and drying all the heavy and the human tears. You will love someone who will never ever know your secret name, and you will play a game where there is no one else to really blame. But the sun will still rise over the green and the emerald hill, and the heart of the forest will be remarkably and perfectly still. In the middle of the month of the green and the golden May Day. Don't be afraid of the shadows, and don't be afraid of the gray. Everything is moving in a beautiful and a natural way. You are exactly where you were always meant to finally be, in the middle of the world, in the middle of the deep blue sea. A letter to myself with a question and a long and a silver why, waiting for the spirit and the ancient and the holy reply. Forgive the mistakes and forgive the long and the lonely years, drying all the ink and drying all the heavy and the human tears. To the boy I used to be, from the man I had to see. the edge of the lonely road, waiting for a traveler to deliver a heavy and a paper load. But the spider has woven a web across the heavy metal door, and the dust of the years is settling on the cold and the iron floor. It's a hollow monument to a world that doesn't write anymore. Beyond the reach of the satellites and beyond the modern lore, the flag is down and the spirit is finally and truly asleep, in a silence that is remarkably and truly and finally deep, under the shadow of the ancient and the lonely willow tree. Silent mailbox in a world that used to be remarkably and truly free, waiting for a message that was never ever meant for you or me. A metal mouth that hasn't spoken a word in 1,000 years, drying all the ink and drying all the heavy and the human tears. I remember the sound of the metal when the letter hit the base, and the look of the excitement on your beautiful and your young face. But now the only thing inside is a dried up and a dead leaf, a shorthand for a season and a shorthand for a heavy grief, in the middle of the month of the green and the golden May Day. Maybe I should put a flower inside and let it slowly decay, in the middle of the sun and the middle of the mountain spray. A small offering to the ghost of the letters that were never sent, wondering where all the time and where all the passion truly went. Silent mailbox in a world that used to be remarkably and truly free, waiting for a message that was never ever meant for you or me. A metal mouth that hasn't spoken a word in 1,000 years, drying all the ink and drying all the heavy and the human tears. Still standing there in the rain, with a heavy and a silent pain. Headlines are shouting about a war that was won or lost, but nobody remembers the names or nobody remembers the cost. A piece of paper blowing down the street in the middle of the night, holding all the truth and holding all the black and the white. The ink is a witness to a world that was moving too fast today. Before the colors of the morning started to slowly and truly fade away, in the middle of the month of the green and the golden May Day, we are looking for the headlines, but we are finding only the dust in the middle of the silence in the middle of the ancient rust. Yesterday's news is a story that has finally and truly been told, in a world that is growing remarkably and truly and finally old. A black sun of the past that is shining in the middle of the glare, everywhere in the air and everywhere in the silent prayer. The dates are a reminder of the things that we thought were so real, and the heavy burden of the life that we were destined to feel. But the paper is thin, and the paper is remarkably brittle now, marking the arrival of a silent and a holy and a desperate vow. Before the screen took over, and before the silence grew so deep, wrap the glass in the memories and wrap the heart in the sleep, under the pillows where the tired and the lonely spirits keep. A coordinating time for a world that has finally lost its way, in the middle of the green and the golden and the Maytime day. Yesterday's news is a story that has finally and truly been told, in a world that is growing remarkably and truly and finally old. A black sun of the past that is shining in the middle of the glare, everywhere in the air and everywhere in the silent prayer. Old news in a new world now. I don't know the why or the how. I forgot to say the most important thing before I walked away, thinking that I would have another and a better and a golden day. But the time is a thief, and the time is a remarkably silent wall, waiting for the final and the silent and the lonely call. And now the words are sitting in the corner of my heavy mind, like the beautiful treasures that the travelers were destined to find, in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the deep blue sea, searching for the person that I was finally and truly meant to be. Before the world turned grey, and before the world turned remarkably old. Words left behind like a story that was never ever fully told. A treasure chest of the spirit that was never bought or sold, holding the heartbeat of a moment that refused to finally die, under the white and the blue and the everlasting in the sky. I should have said I'm sorry, and I should have said I love you too, but I was waiting for a signal, and I was was waiting for a clue from a world that was moving in a different and a silver line, leaving all the choice to yours and leaving all the choice to mine. In the middle of the month of the green and the golden May Day, maybe the silence is the only thing that truly has the right to stay. In the middle of the sun, in the middle of the mountain spray, a heavy incense for the soul in a world that is moving too fast, finding a sanctuary in the middle of the long and the holy past. Words left behind like a story that was never ever fully told, a treasure chest of the spirit that was never bought or sold, holding the heartbeat of a moment that refused to finally die under the white and the blue and the everlasting and the sky. Too late for the words today, watching them just drift away. I'm looking through the lens of a 40-year-long and a silver time, trying to find the rhythm and trying to find the ancient and the rhyme. The sentences are different every time I open up the old book, with a different kind of heart and a different kind of a holy look. The hero is a stranger and the villain is a ghost of the mind, searching for the things that we were finally and truly destined to find, in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the deep blue sea, searching for the person that I was finally and truly meant to be, before the world turned gray and before the world turned old today. Rereading the past in the middle of the green and the golden May, finding a new reason to stay in the middle of a perfect day, a translation of a soul in a language that we didn't know yet, under the sun that was always so ready to finally and truly set. The mistakes are still there, but the sting of the pain is finally gone. In the early light of a modern and a digital and a silver dawn, I can see the path that we took, and I can see the path we missed, under the shadow of the moments and the kisses that were never kissed. A physical map of the heart that is finally and truly understood. Every chapter was a lesson, and every sentence was for the good. In the middle of the world, in the middle of the emerald wood, a sacred vision of a life that was lived in the center sun that was always so ready to finally and truly set. Turn the page and start again, beyond the reach of the wind and rain. There is nothing left to add, and there is nothing left to take away. At the end of the month of the green and the golden Maytime day, I've written all the words and I've shared all the ancient and the rhymes. In a world that has changed 100,000 different times, the pen is heavy now, and the ink is starting to finally run dry. Under the white and the blue and the everlasting and the holy sky, watching the long shadow stretch across the silent and the floor, standing patiently at the heavy and the silver and the golden door, ready to close the book and ready to finally turn out the light. The final sentence in the middle of the long and the lonely night, a message of the peace and a message of the remarkably true sight. Everything is finished and everything is finally and truly done, under the watchful eyes of the moon and the eyes of the sun. It's a simple period at the end of a long and a complicated life, beyond the reach of the worry and beyond the reach of the strife. A sacred silence that is remarkably and truly and finally whole, making the broken and the weary and the human spirit finally whole. A final signature on a world that was once remarkably and truly free. Don't be afraid of the end, and don't be afraid of the deep blue sea. Everything is moving in a beautiful and a natural way for me. A quiet surrender to the night, and a quiet and a sacred grace, stretching across the wide and the silent and the blue space. The final sentence in the middle of the long and the lonely night, a message of the peace and a message of the remarkably true sight. Everything is finished and everything is finally and truly done, under the watchful eyes of the moon and the eyes of the sun. Closing the book forever now, taking a silent